Hey guys, it's me and I'm back for another YouTube video, and today's video is a few of my tips to help you with revision for school and tests and other things like that, and just remembering things in general. I know for a fact that not just me, but so many people have trouble remembering things for tests, and you know, it doesn't matter what type of test, if it's just an end of term test or if it's an end of year test or your GCSEs. Here are a few simple things that I do to help me remember. So the first thing that I do to help me remember things is listen to music whilst I'm revising. And this actually helps me. So if I come across a question in a test, which is about something that I did revise for, my brain will usually think back to what song was I listening to then, which part of the song was it, because usually might not be the same for everybody else, but when I'm listening to music and reading something, I end up reading in the timing, and it just helps me remember different parts. And you can also, another way of doing this is putting something that you want to revise in the tune or melody of your favorite song, and then after you sung it multiple times, it will be ingrained in your head and it will be easy to remember things. That's one way that I remembered my German numbers and alphabet, and I did them for 2 years, and that was ages ago. That was like 5 years ago. Okay, tip number 2. Do little chunks of revision at a time. So when revising, don't do like a big chunk of 1 hour revision and then leave it for a week and then another chunk of 1 hour revision. One thing that I have been advised to do by many of my teachers at school, and it works and it absolutely helps, and I recommend you guys to try it. It's doing small chunks each day or every other day. So chunks of 15 minutes to 30 minutes of revision, listening to audiobooks to do with the revising, reading through textbooks, reading through the stuff you've done, watching videos on YouTube that are to do with it. And do 15, 30-minute increments of revision each day or every other day, and it will just help you instead of doing it all at once on the day before the test. I just don't feel that's good. I used to do that and it didn't help me at all, but now I'm doing what my teachers have said, chunks at a time. Repeat revising. Repeat what you're revising as well. You do your 15 minutes, then the next morning you say something that you remember. So for example, quotes from poems. So we do this thing at my school where we have a book and it's called our quote by rote book. And what we do is we put 2-3 quotes from poems. We've got quotes in there for the sign of 4 and an inspector calls for our GCSEs, which we are taking next year, as in 2019, not next school year, because they've moved it forwards. It doesn't matter. But so in these quote by rote books, we write the quotes down, annotate them underneath, and then we take it home and we just revise it, and then we have a test sometimes at the end of a week. So for example, there's a quote from the poem The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson, and there's the quote half a league, half a league, half a league onwards, and there's a way to remember that, and I remember that by half a league, half a league, half a league onwards is going kind of to the beat of running horses, which matches the context of the poem. You've also got the quote cannon to the left, cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon in front of them, which also goes in the same rhythm. So if you remember the rhythm of something, or link it to something. So there's a quote from the poem Remains by Simon Armitage, and it's his bloody life in my bloody hands, and you can imagine something in your head which will help you remember it. So you can imagine someone having their hands out with blood dripping down, or something like that, just to help you remember that one specific thing. And again, chunks of revision and visual representation. Okay, another thing, we just did that we just did this today in English, and I think it's such a good idea. And this is create a mind palace or a memory palace. Doesn't matter how you want to call it. But it's a place where you can kind of, I guess, retreat into your mind where all the information is going to be. Now, this kind of links back to what I said about visual representation of what you want to remember. So, for example, biology. If you want to remember a specific part, you can always, like, you know, picture somewhere where you're comfortable, you know, bedroom, for example. You can imagine your bedroom at home, and on each shelf, there's going to be a different thing to do with the different parts that you need to remember for biology. There'll be something on your bed, something on your shelf, something in your wardrobe, etc. And, you know, visual representations, try and remember charts or diagrams and equations and stuff like that. Just have your bedroom like wall covered in stuff. I'm not saying literally do this, but in your mind palace, have the room full to the brim of information, which will be helpful to you when you need to come back to it in the test. And, you know, when our English teacher told us about this technique, it really helped. And what she's got us to do is, you know, draw like a place that we feel comfortable, in this example, a home, and outside, this is for The Charge of the Light Brigade, the poem, you know, outside we have a horse charging back and forth, a cross over a puddle and pile of dead bodies, to say that it doesn't focus on the gore, it focuses on the action of war, which again is really helpful. So yeah, create a mind palace, because they work. Like, they do work, trust me. And another thing is audio. So there are plenty of like audiobooks or read-throughs on YouTube and across the internet of what you want to revise. So there are websites that have audio revision for maths, science, English, history, every subject that you can do at school. And it goes through each bit, and you can just listen to it whilst you're waiting for the bus. You can listen to it once you're in the car, and it will help you remember it. Just like the way that you remember words of a song, you can replay it over and over and over again until it gets itself ingrained into your mind. Like I said, like a song, you know, you could listen to it repeat for 2 hours and then have it stuck in your head. Either way, kind of, you can incorporate the listening with the chunks of revision. So you can do like, if you do half an hour, you can do 15 minutes reading and drawing or something, and then 15 minutes audio / video, which again will help you, trust me. Okay, and the last thing I want to do, last thing I want to tell you about, which can help you with revision, is if your school does it, or you can just get together with friends, do sessions of revision where you focus on certain bits, kind of like the 15-minute increments, but you can focus your time, instead of on loads of different bits at a time, you can focus your revision on one thing. So for example, if you're studying history and you want to revise, say, the Plains Indians in the American West, you know, you can go to a revision session, revise with your friends, and, you know, like read through, jot down, draw things that will help you revise. So you can have like an hour doing stuff about Plains Indians, leave that, do 15-minute increments the next day do another revision session on another thing. And again, if you always get stuck, you've always got the internet, you've got textbooks, you've even got teachers if you go to school. You know, there's always going to be something there to help you with resources-wise. There are really good websites, you know, for different subjects that specialise with things. Very helpful websites, BBC Bitesize, always helpful, or just BBC in general. But yeah, I think that's just about it for my tips of, you know, revising. I hope this helps you. I think me saying this to you guys, it helps me as well, because then I can watch back this video when I need to start revising for stuff for my GCSEs, to be able to, you know, watch back and listen to my own advice from the past, which I do sometimes. I go through old books which say like, do this, do this, do this, and you know, this is how you should do this is how you should do that, and it helps. It really does. If any of this helps you, comment down below. I'd love to know if it helps you in any way, or if you've got any other revising tips. Please put them in the comment section down below, and then other people can see them as well, because I know there's plenty more. Those are just the ones that I find that work for me most. So visual representation, audio, and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you liked it, attack that like button with your likes, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and hit that bell notification next to the subscribe button to get notified every time I upload a new video. There should be a new video coming up soon, as I don't know when roughly, but I'm going to Edinburgh and I'm going to vlog whilst I'm there, because that's just going to be really fun. So I'm going to take you guys on holiday with me again. But this time it's going to be better, and the screen's not going to be tiny. But yeah, so subscribe, like, and comment down below if you have any more revision tips, or if there's a video that you'd like to see me do next. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!
But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything.